Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmanuel Cyprian from Titech Consulting. In this video, I want to explain in details governance, risk, and compliance. In my last video, a lot of people have been asking me to explain further what I mean or what is governance, risk, and compliance. So I'm going to be, putting out this video. So I'm going to be talking about the governance. I'm going to be talking about risk, compliance, integration, of GRC, and then GRC technologies and tools. So it's going to be like a 4-part videos. All right, so let's get started. What is governance, risk, and compliance? As you can see, on the screen displayed by my side, it says governance, risk, and compliance is an integrated approach that organizations uses to align their operations with business objectives, manage risk effectively, and ensure compliance with regulations and internal policies. So GRC helps organizations to streamline their processes, reduce redundancies, and maintain a strong control environment. So that is what GRC means. That is, in every organization all over the world, either government agencies, commercial organization, private, they all have GRC department. GRC is under cybersecurity. GRC is the non-technical part of cybersecurity. So every organization all over the world has that GRC, department in the organization. And like I've just mentioned, GRC, that is the governance, risk, and compliance, helps organizations to streamline their processes, reduce redundancies, and maintain strong control environments. So when you talk about strong control, you see, if you have, read watch some of my videos where I mentioned those security controls. In cybersecurity, in IT generally, we deal with security controls. And according to NIST 853 revision 5, there are 20 control families where we have the access control, we have the awareness and training, audit and accountability, incident response, contingency plan, just to mention a few. So in order to have that strong control environment, now organization implements governance, risk, and compliance. Now, in this governance, risk, and compliance, there are key components that we need to look at. And what are the key components of this governance, risk, and compliance? Number one is governance. And what is governance? Governance refers to the framework. Governance refers to the policies. Governance refers to the procedures that guides an organization's strategic directions and decision-making process. So, which means effective governance. So, which means that effective governance ensures that organizations' objectives are met while aligning with ethical standards and shareholders' expectations. So for organizations to meet with maybe shareholders' expectations, ethical standards, now there are some strategic alignment that has to be done. And those strategic, stuff is what I call the expectation or the component of governance. In every organization, there are components of governance, and one of it is strategic alignment. So what is strategic alignment? Governance ensures that all business activities are aligned with the organization's goals and objectives, meaning that whatever activity or task that goes on in that organization, it must align with the organization's objectives. It must align with the organization's goal. And then number two component under the governance is policy management. It means that organizations must establish clear policy that defines acceptable behavior, processes, practices across all levels. That is why you see in every organization they have acceptable use policy. They have what's it called now? Attendance policy. They have HR policy. They have dressing code of conduct. All of that. So it's part of the governance of that organization. So if you are looking at getting into cybersecurity, into the GRC space of cybersecurity, it's going to be part of the things that you'll be assigned to do, helping the organizations to put together their policy directions. Yeah, that is acceptable use policy, acceptable behaviors policy, computer use policy, all of that is part of the governance structure of any organization. And then number 3 is performance management. So under governance, that is GRC, the governance part, under that we have the performance management. That means governance involves monitoring and evaluating organizational performance to ensure that objectives are being met effectively and efficiently. So the performance of the organization is also measured, where the organizations go. So when you have policies, when you have standards, when you have procedures, all of this is meant to make sure that the organizations align with their objectives and goals, and also ensures that these objectives and goals, they are being evaluated effectively at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter, at the end of 6 months. Now, how has the organization fared in terms of its, in terms of realizing its set goals and objectives? So, in summary, under the governance part of GRC, as a candidate that wants to get into this GRC space, you should be effective, or you should have an understanding of what is policy, what is standards, what is procedures. These are the stuff that guides organizations' directions and objectives. So it's going to be part of this task that we assign you, that, hey, can you help us put together policy documents policy document for access management, for computer usage, for acceptable user behavior, all of that, procedures as well, standards, all of these. So they all come under governance in the GRC space. I hope this video helps you to understand part of the governance, risk, and compliance. And if this video makes sense to you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.